The moment you realize you are exhausted from trying to please everyone, something inside you quietly breaks. You smile, you agree, you say yes when your soul is screaming no, and then you wonder why you feel empty, restless, and unseen. Paramhansa Yogananda taught that this inner exhaustion is not weakness, it is a spiritual signal. It is the soul telling you that you have forgotten who you are living for. When you try to earn love from the world, you slowly lose connection with the divine presence within you, and that loss creates deep inner conflict. Yogananda explained that people-pleasing is rooted in fear, not kindness. Fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of being misunderstood. The ego believes survival depends on approval, so it bends, adjusts, and sacrifices truth to feel safe. But spiritually, this behavior weakens the soul. The soul thrives on authenticity, not acceptance. Every time you betray your inner truth to satisfy others, you send a message to yourself that your divine worth is negotiable. According to Yogananda, the need to please others comes from forgetting your real source of love. Human approval is unstable, temporary, and unpredictable. One moment you are praised, the next moment you are ignored. When your sense of worth depends on reactions outside you, peace becomes impossible. Yogananda taught that true security comes only when your identity is rooted in God consciousness, not public opinion. He often emphasized that serving others is sacred, but sacrificing your soul to please others is spiritual ignorance. Service flows from inner fullness, not from fear. When you serve from love, there is joy. When you please from insecurity, there is resentment. Over time, people pleasers feel invisible anger, emotional fatigue, and spiritual dryness. This is because energy is constantly leaking outward, instead of flowing inward towards self-realization. Yogananda's spiritual method begins with inner anchoring. He taught that before responding to the world, you must first establish awareness of God within. When you sit in silence, even for a few minutes daily, and feel divine presence in your spine and heart, something changes. You stop asking, "Will they approve?" and start asking, "Is this aligned with truth?" This shift is subtle but powerful. As divine awareness grows, the fear of disappointing others begins to dissolve. You realize that disappointment is not dangerous. Rejection is not death. Disapproval does not define your value. Yogananda said that when you live in tune with your soul, the right people stay, and the wrong expectations fall away naturally. You no longer chase validation, because peace becomes your reward. He also taught that saying no can be an act of love. When you say yes to everything, your yes loses meaning. A soul-aligned person speaks honestly, gently, and firmly. There is no need to explain your worth or defend your boundaries. God within you does not require justification. When actions arise from inner stillness, even refusal carries calm strength. Stopping people-pleasing is not about becoming cold or selfish. It is about becoming centered. Yogananda reminded that when your consciousness is anchored in God, your actions become naturally compassionate without self-betrayal. You stop shrinking to fit expectations, and start expanding into truth. And as this inner alignment deepens, something remarkable happens. The world begins responding differently, because you are no longer begging it for permission to exist. As this inner alignment strengthens, you begin to notice how deeply people-pleasing was connected to identity. Yogananda taught that most suffering comes from mistaking the ego for the self. The ego survives on comparison and approval, while the soul exists in quiet self-awareness. When you stop feeding the ego through external validation, it resists at first. You may feel guilt, anxiety, or the fear of being labeled selfish. But these emotions are signs of detox, not failure. Yogananda explained that spiritual growth often feels uncomfortable because it challenges old emotional habits. When you stop over-explaining yourself, when you stop fixing everyone's emotions, when you stop shrinking your truth, the nervous system reacts. The mind has been trained to equate harmony with self-sacrifice. But real harmony comes from inner honesty, not emotional obedience. One powerful method Yogananda suggested was conscious pause. Before agreeing, reacting, or committing, pause inwardly and ask, "Does this expand or contract my inner peace?" The body always knows the answer. Peace feels open, relaxed, grounded. People-pleasing feels tight, rushed, heavy. Learning to listen to this inner guidance slowly reconditions the mind to trust the soul rather than fear. As you practice this, relationships begin to change. Some people may pull away, not because you became worse, but because the old version of you is no longer available. Yogananda taught that when divine alignment increases, karmic relationships either evolve or dissolve. This is not loss, it is spiritual sorting. Those who respect your truth remain. Those who depended on your silence fade. Another essential teaching was devotion over approval. Yogananda reminded that when your actions are offered inwardly to God, you stop performing for people. Devotion simplifies life. You act sincerely, speak honestly, and accept outcomes peacefully. Approval becomes irrelevant because your inner compass is clear. You no longer need to be liked by everyone, only aligned with truth. He also warned that people-pleasing blocks intuition. When you constantly adjust yourself to fit expectations, you silence the subtle inner voice that guides your life path. Over time, this creates confusion, indecision, and lack of direction. Reclaiming your inner authority restores clarity. You start making choices with confidence, not because they are popular, but because they are correct for your soul's evolution. Yogananda emphasized self-respect as a spiritual discipline. Treating yourself with reverence is not ego, it is recognition of the divine presence within you. When you respect your energy, time, and emotional boundaries, others learn how to treat you. Respect teaches more than explanation ever will. As this transformation deepens, something beautiful unfolds. You become peaceful without effort. You stop rehearsing conversations, stop worrying about reactions, stop carrying emotional debt. Your presence becomes calm and grounded. People feel it. Some are inspired, some are uncomfortable, but you remain steady. Yogananda taught that freedom begins when approval is no longer the currency of your worth. When love flows from within instead of being negotiated externally, you experience a quiet joy that cannot be taken away. You realize you were never meant to be everything for everyone. You were meant to be true, awake, and aligned. And in that alignment, people-pleasing dissolves naturally, not through force, but through awakening.